Definitely not the cleanest repair, but it will do for now. The goal number one is to take the car on the road, get it MOT'd, and then pretty it up. This bracket is not structural, it's just holding the headlight, and right now it's all aligning perfectly. It's made of aluminium, that's why I preheated it before I hammer it down. You can buy replacement brackets, but because it's aluminium, you have to basically unrivet everything and re-rivet it again. And I don't want to do it right now. It's not super expensive. I think it goes for about £60 per corner. Not that much money, but I don't want to spend that money right now. Another little update and fix that I've made off camera is my power steering. If you remember, I replaced this little cap, which is technically the ECU for your power steering motor, and this is what actually controls everything inside. When I installed it, you see these little prongs, there are 3 of them, and I bent one of them because I didn't know how it should feel when I was installing it. And yeah, I just forced it in, and because one of the prongs was bent, it wasn't making the right contact, or wasn't making any contact at all with the ECU, so it wasn't working. It was throwing the code on the dash. I fixed it by just taking it apart, straightening the prong, and just reinstalling it the way it should be, very carefully. And a little bit of a tip, I'd say, don't force it. If you cleaned everything, and you do need to go in and clean it from the inside and the cap itself, because there's a bit of oxidation going on. But if you do it and there's no debris on it, anything like that, it will slide in without any force. So it's just like you just wiggle it in down, and you can feel that it's like seated properly. So don't force it in, don't use a hammer. It will just go in, and if it's not going in, it means you're bending something. Yeah, that's kind of it right now. I don't have any errors, well, no codes that are related to my power steering issue. There are a few codes, but they're minimal, mostly battery related, and one of the lights, fog light, just went off. Small things, but today we are gonna continue repairing the bumper. It's the only thing that's actually holding me back from putting this car back on the road right now, because everything else is fixed, it's drivable. Yeah, let's just get it resprayed, hopefully today, and maybe we can put back on the car and see how it looks. As you can tell, this bumper has seen some action. It's not awful, but it's got a few major creases along this axis, and there's a big hole here. There's also a crack right here, which I don't know how to tackle. I'll try to heat and straighten the geometry of the plastic, and then think how I can repair this hole and maybe stitch this crack somehow, or glue it, or whatever. I have my heat gun, I've got the heat staple gun. I don't know if it's the right name for it, but I've got the tools, and that's what we're gonna try today. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah, let's start. This is what we're working with. It's not perfect. It sustained a significant amount of damage, and the shape of the bumper is quite tricky. And because I'm doing it for the first time, I don't think it's going to come out really well. Potentially I'll buy another bumper and respray it if it's different color. But I want to learn something new, and hopefully you guys will pick up a new skill along the way, or just enjoy watching it. There are a few cracks here. The shape of this is not as straightforward and still kind of bowed out. If you look here, well, you can actually tell that this bumper has been resprayed. You can see the orange bill, so I'm not gonna feel that bad ruining anything. But if you take a closer look, I think from this angle you can tell that this side is not just flat, it's curving out. It's got this little bit of curvature going on. So I don't know how I will do it, but I'll try to match this side and try to get this curve going. Right now there's a high spot over here. You can tell there's a little bit of a bend here, which I'll try to hit and press it down so we have this curvature going. There's also this little bump and some imperfections, as well as this ugliness. But anyways, as I said, this is my first time, and the bumper is not one of the easiest ones, so I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy repairing it. Alright, let's get started. This is what I meant by we might need to have another bumper. This is well, unacceptable. The gap is way too big, and I mean, everything is way out of line, but this is I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I'd say it's about 2 mil gap right here, and it's still quite raised, so I'll try to heat it up and try to bend it in so it kind of like flush, but I don't know, maybe this one is not particularly straight, but I'm kind of tempted to trust this little piece as my main reference point, because everything else is very, very wonky here. And at least it's lining up here relatively okay. If you can press it down a little bit more, and the tab is not holding it, so it's not sitting nearly as well as it should, but we're working with what we have. Well, it doesn't look pretty, and I probably put way too much of the body filler that I actually had to, but it's a learning process, and as I said, I've never done before. By the way, the body filler that I'm using is designed specifically for plastic, so it should flex and do not crack. And if you're working on any plastic bits on your car, you need to use specific materials designed for plastic. So hopefully it's gonna work. Well, there's only one way to find out, and I think it's cured enough. Still it's a bit tacky, but we can start sanding and see how it's coming together. So more sanding. Well, I'm getting there. Lots of sanding, but kind of like paying for my own mistake. Not a mistake. I think I'm getting the shape that I want. It's not as defined as this one, but I'm getting there. I think it will be okay-ish. I still have some low spots that I need to feel and sand back, but overall I'm kind of happy with this result. It's not too bad. It's not perfect by any means. There are lots of imperfections, like here you can see this waviness thing going on. I'm done, honestly. Like this stuff, you can still see this crease a little bit. I'm really pleased with how this thing came out, so it's a lot better. You can see the shapes are kinda the same, so yeah, I'd say it's good. I'm just gonna spray it, and yeah, hopefully it dries overnight and we can install it on the car. Yeah, we're done with the bumper. Not the greatest job, but it's okay for a quick respray with spray cans and doing it outside. It cannot be entirely perfect, but I'm quite happy with the result. You can even see my reflection, and I just, well, put a few coats of clear coat, and yeah, it's relatively okay. The orange peel is there, don't get me wrong, but it's not awful, and I just want to drive this car. You can see the weather is getting nicer and nicer. We're a few weeks away from summer officially, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it here outside to cure, and maybe tomorrow or Monday, today's Saturday, I will put on the car and book my MOT. So in the next video, hopefully we can take it on the road and I'll give you my first impression. But for now, it is done. Well, the bumper is done. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Thanks guys, see you.